Welcome to House and Space Clearing from A to Z. Call 3, August 20th, 2023. How's it get better than this? Okay, so we've got people lined up for their questions. There was also a bunch of stuff questions emailed in, some of which are extremely long. So you might have to say your questions instead of me reading them off. And go ahead, Mo, let's start with you.
Hi, everyone. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. And it's just amazing being...
Thanks for giving a shit. Really, thank you for receiving me. It's reciprocal, babe.
It's absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. And also, I was so nervous, so excited yesterday. I realized I was talking so fast and... But anyway, I just want to say I'm really grateful for everything that you bring into our lives.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I really actually do appreciate the feedback and the gratitude. It really helps. Because as weird as you feel.
Yes, and the word weird that I used yesterday was the wrong choice of word. What I meant was it was quite surprising and shocking. But
okay.
Yeah.
But Mo, why don't you own what you were choosing? Sorry, there's like a crazy dog here. Can you guys hear that dog? Oh, the poor thing. He's like so freaked out. Usually doesn't go on for very long.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Okay, go for it, Mo.
Yes. I will have to sell my other flat in the next 12 months. And will I be able to use there's nothing to do with being passed down from generations or anything like that. Will I be able to have contributions from the entity of the flat, the flat in itself, or if I talk to them to make things go smooth in a way? So, because sometimes some houses or flats, they get stuck on a sale and nothing takes forever.
Do you know what the tagline of Access is? Access consciousness. Do you know what the tagline is? Access consciousness. Empowering people to know that they know.
Yeah.
To know that they know. So what do you know?
I think it's probably that I don't believe. You believe in myself in a way that I know that I can do it, but it's I think it's the confidence that stops me from.
I hear you, honey.
Yeah,
I hear you. And yeah, I mean, this is maybe like, this is where you're gonna have to make some choices.
Yeah,
like I can try to give you all my knowledge and confidence and energy, but really none of that's relevant, because what's relevant here is that you know what you know.
Mm-hmm.
If you're at a place, and it's great that you're at a place where you recognize, like, okay, look, I am doing this thing where I'm doubting, right? Where I'm not claiming and owning what I know, where I'm not having a lot of ease acknowledging, or even the willingness to just have the freedom to play with the tools, just with an open mind. Like, to recognize that you're starting from a place of doubt, right? So essentially magic has already lost in your world.
As soon as I doubt, the magic vanishes.
Well, yeah. So it's like that, and it's a pretty devastating thing to acknowledge, especially for a humanoid. And if you avoid, it's like, what are you avoiding?
It's probably judgment, I think, from other people.
But so all of you guys that limit yourselves based on, trying to not be judged, will you revoke, recant, rescind, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all that, please?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, PUD, PUC, shorts, POVADs, boys, bands. No, I've got to have a little strong talk with you about this. Is judgment real?
No.
Uh-oh. So what are you making real and true that's totally controlling you? So this is where you have to stop thinking in a way that hurts you.
Yeah, it's probably years of
Sure,
some person
sure.
going on and on and on, and me kind of,
Totally. And
yeah,
most of you guys have been disempowered and told you're wrong directly and indirectly for lifetimes. So you get to this one and you're like, fuck me, it's so hard to be me, to be here, to have any access to this possibility. And you have to be strong. You have to sort of, the thing is like, when are you going to stand up and choose for what you know? Not against others, not to make yourself right, but for what you know. Otherwise, you're just this like weak, leaky mess
yeah.
who's always in pain and never reaping the rewards and the benefits of the magic that comes so easily to you.
Yes, I have started on this path now, and that's why I'm on my own, starting to love myself again and rediscover myself. And the penny dropped, as we say here in England, when you said once you doubt, the magic disappears, and
Yeah.
that is very, very, very strong now. That whenever I'm start going into that kind of path, if I think of that, then it empowers me to say, oh, go get lost, fuck off.
Good.
And
Good.
thank you. Those 2 words was exactly what I needed to give me the empowerment to follow through with what I'm doing. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome very much. And it's an interesting phenomenon with Talk to the Entities because, like, part of the material is just education, right? Like, this is how we clear entities, this is how you deal with this kind of situation, this situation. But then it interfaces so dynamically with all of the anti-magic, anti-consciousness, anti-awareness insanity that you've made real and true, reacted to, have presumed is real. And it's like somebody at some point, like you, at some point you have to look at what's real. I mean, you don't have to, but I wish you would. Like, that's what's really empowered me. It's like my dad has always said, look, you've got to look at what is. And so when I say to you, like, is judgment real? Like, it's not, but look at how much power you give it. So wouldn't it be so cool when you are when judgment is so completely irrelevant, it has absolutely no impact on you, including your own judgments? What's it going to take, right? Like, what energy, space, consciousness, magic, miracle, mystery, possibility, power, potency, choice. Apparently we're having a noisy call today. And the ambulance is coming, to not make real and true what isn't real and true. Because you're making it real. Does anybody's judgment really matter? Like, fuck no. Like, fuck everybody. Like, that's my motto. Fuck them.
Yeah.
I wish you'd get a little fuck them in you.
Thank you.
Because you've got to stop fighting you, and you've got to start fighting for what you know is possible.
That's true. Very amazing. Thank you. Powerful words.
Cool.
Thank you.
So please, please, please give yourself permission to play with the tools. Just see what's possible. Just if you didn't have to be right, if you didn't have to be wrong, if you were totally crazy, but you still had all these tools available to you, why don't you give them a try? Just see. Just have a play.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Cool. Absolutely. And that's how you guys are going to learn this stuff, by giving it but just playing with it. That's how I figured it out. I just started. I was just like, okay, this feels like shit. This isn't working. Okay, what tool do I have? And then I just would go and ask more questions and try stuff out and learn. And you will succeed and you will fail. And you'll learn from every success and from every failure. But just remember, you're fighting for possibility, not against you.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Be strong. Be strong. Okay, anything else before we move on?
No, that's it. Thank you. Just want to say I'm really grateful. Thank you.
I'm really grateful too. Thank you. Okay. Priyanka. The Indian names are like a real, I feel like I'm okay at it. I just have to like sing it. Priyanka.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi.
Okay, so I'll start with my question. I have been staying in this rented apartment for the past 3 years. And this particular piece of land belongs to my extended in-laws. And the other piece of land, adjacent land, which belongs to my in-laws, recently they have sold it out for some construction purpose. So now it's been 3 years post shifting to this apartment. My life has been a roller coaster ride, both professionally and personally. So currently I'm staying single in this house. There have been some issues going around with my husband too. So I get that message that I'm not welcome in this apartment, but I'm not being able to find some other way right now to shift to a different house. So how can I manage the situation?
Okay, this is not a house clearing from A to Z question, like at all. So, do you want to ask a different question?
It's like like I get this feel that post coming to this house, there have been a series of incidents that have been happening in my life, which I'm not being able to which I'm not being able to change.
Because you're pathetic and you suck. You should give up. You should just quit. Do you see how much you're fighting for? Like, I'm so pathetic. Oh my God. Moved into this house. It's so hard. Like, what are you saying to me? What are you asking? All you're just saying is like how shit things are. Should I fix it for you? Should I terrify you into getting your ass in gear and making a different choice in life? This is bullshit. No, it's not bullshit. It's dog shit. Right now, you're giving yourself dog shit and you're giving me dog shit. What's the fucking question, lady? Or I will.
It's like, am I not being able to perceive any particular entity or?
Is that a question?
I get it.
We're gonna get to consciousness the happy way or the scary way. Which is it gonna be?
Obviously a happy way. So
okay, so what's your question?
Yeah, okay, I get this. And my next question, which I was
no, wait, no, you didn't even ask me a question to begin with. There's not a next question.
Oh, sorry.
You are not sorry. But I'm going to move on because this isn't within the premise of the class. And Priyanka, are you actually looking for something else, or are you being lacking?
I guess yes.
Say it again.
I guess yes. I guess there's something which I'm lacking. I'm not being able to convey it.
Well, you're doing like a real good job at being lacking, which is like not how you're going to get anything out of me. So if you want to participate in the conversation, you actually have to offer your consciousness, not your lack. All right, I'm moving on. Okay, Hessa.
أهلا وسهلا مرحبا. أنا ماني قادرة أشغل الكاميرا.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
سؤالي هو لو خلصت المساحة، بمعنى خلصت مساحة الأرض عليها بنيان أو من غير بنيان، هل هذا حيسهم؟
حصة صوتك مو واضح حبيبتي.
طيب
حتى المترجمة
الآن واضح؟
أوضح شوية. علي صوتك.
الآن واضح؟
علي صوتك.
طيب أوكي. هل الأرض اللي لو اتصلت بوعي الأرض هل حيساهم إنها دخل يتم تخليص الكينونات اللي مستحلت المكان؟
Okay, she's saying that if she connected to the consciousness of the land, would that contribute in clearing the entities that are taking over that land?
Sorry, say that for me one more time, Leal. I didn't get it.
Yeah, she's saying, me neither. She's saying if I connected to the consciousness of the land, if I connected to the consciousness of the land, would that contribute in clearing the entities that are taking over that land?
Sorry, Hessa, I don't really get your question. Can you help me out a little bit with that?
أوكي. في أرض تواصلت أو يعني اتصلت بالكينونات الموجودة فيها، فكانت عالقة من زمن العبودية فيها. أعطيتهم الوعي إنه انتهى زمن العبودية وتقدر تروحوا لأماكن ثانية، بس يعني الموضوع كان يعني مجدي.
Okay, there
لكن
is a land.
فعلياً
لحظة
أنا ما
حسة عشان
ما
أترجم.
اتصلت بوعي الأرض.
Okay,
أوكي.
لحظة حسة
أوكي.
خليني
أوكي.
أترجم. There is a
Okay.
land that she connected to, and there were entities from the time of slavery. She gave them the awareness that it's over now and they can let go, but they're not moving.
Why are you trying to help them?
عشان المكان اللي أنا بخلصه عالق في إنه ما هو قادرين يبيعوه أو يستفيدوا منه.
Okay, because this land, the place that is stuck is that the people are not able to sell this land or change ownership.
Uh-huh. Are you involved in the ownership, or is this something you're trying to do for somebody else?
هي صديقتي صديقة لي.
It's for a friend of hers.
Okay. And she's asked for this? Has she asked you for this help? Hello?
أنا ما أسمع.
هل صديقتك طلبت هذه المساعدة؟
Yes, أيوة.
Yes, she did.
Okay, cool. So what's the question?
ايش سؤالك حصة؟ انت ما قاعد تسمعين الترجمة العربية؟
سؤالي لو اتصلت بوعي الأرض إنها تبغى تكون يمين، فهل هذا حيساعد أو يساهم في تخليص المكان؟
He's saying if she connected to the land consciousness, would that contribute in clearing the land? And asking the land, who does she want to be owned by?
Why don't you try that? Go do that. Absolutely. Why don't you tell me? What are you really asking for me? What do you really want from me?
شنو اللي تبينه فعلا حصة؟ واضح انه ما قاعد تسمعين الترجمة العربية. شنو اللي فعلا تبينه؟
أوكي. اللي ابغى اوصل له انه في اختلاف بين، هل في اختلاف بين الاتصال بوعي المكان وتخليص المكان، او هي
Okay.
مكمله لبعض؟
Okay. She's asking, that's her question. Is there a difference between connecting to the land and clearing the land? Is there a difference? Or is it the same thing?
Well, when when I'm clearing, whether it's clearing entities from wherever, whether it's a house or land or anything, I am connecting. I am connected. So, is that the question?
هل هذا هو السؤال؟ إذا أنا قاعدة أخلص الأرض فأنا أكيد أنا متواصلة بطاقة الأرض، بوعي الأرض هذه. هل هذا سؤالك؟
يعني ما فيها اختلاف. هذا اللي كنت ابغى اوصل له. اذا انا سويت توضيحات للارض، اذا الارض حيكون عندها وعي، اذا حيستمروا موجودين او يعني حيروحوا الناس تاني.
Okay. If she did clearings to the land, she will have the awareness whether they want to stay on this land or leave this land.
Okay, so I don't know why you're not asking me why your clearings haven't been successful, but I mean, I'm just going to speak to that. So with this thing that you're talking about, number one, how many people are involved in the ownership or the sale of this land? And do they all want the same thing? Because you have to take into consideration too that like who your friend that's asked you for this help, she might not have the prevailing or dominant point of view or influence in that situation. There might be somebody else who wants something else to be happening with that, spoken or unspoken. So again, it's like, it's interesting how much in this class we're talking about groups of ownership and the deadlock that creates with progress. So that being said, like clearing the land isn't actually that complicated, but dealing with people and all their ownership stuff and the spoken and unspoken stuff, that can be more tricky. So I wouldn't necessarily doubt that your clearings and your contribution is faulty at all. But what I would suggest is that, like, what question can you ask? Like, okay, so like, what awareness is this that I'm having? Okay, I've tried this and I've tried this. Okay, it's not totally working, or I'm getting a little bit of result, but not what I think it should be. Okay, so can I actually provide this clearing? Because just because you want to clear these beings and just because your friend wants you to clear these entities doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get your way. There might be other people that are invested in those entities staying there, or I mean, it's really so many possibilities. So you have to where I come from with all this is like, okay, so like what is possible? Like what is possible? But you have to include everything and everyone in the equation, not just what you want to have happen. Like that would be making things less than they could need to be. So like what is possible?
Thank you.
Okay. And it's like, the thing too is like, that I just need to reemphasize something here. So clearing entities is actually like a pretty easy process, so if it's hard, right? Like, so if you use the clearing processes and it doesn't like work right away, you just have to see like what else you have to add, meaning portal stuff, meaning like that entity, that like really aggressive entity that was in Mona's property in Saudi where he was sort of like given a job and like we just had to sort of like destroy and create everybody took on that job, like process the entity essentially. Or entities can be on drugs and then you have to do the drug and alcohol stuff. And what you indicated was these entities that you're perceiving were slaves. So it's like, have you actually told them that they're free? Because sometimes you kind of have to like wake entities up sometimes too. Like,
شنو قلتي حصة؟
يس يس أنا قلت لهم إنه انتهى زمن العبودية.
Yes, she told them that the slavery has ended.
and they still won't leave?
كانوا خايفين.
As
ما
if
هو-
they're scared. They're scared to leave.
That usually doesn't make that much of an impact. So when you do the clearing, what happens?
كان في استثناءات يعني نص احنا حنروح بس في ناس ما حيقدروا يروحوا.
You know what you could do? You could destroy and uncreate all of the curses, damnations, condemnations, convictions, and sentences passed on them. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, podpoc, shorts, poveds, boys, and beyonds. Blah. Okay, now try to clear them.
يس ايوه.
He said yes.
اوكي.
Did they clear? Are you clearing them? What's happening?
Yes.
Are we done? Do you have what you need now, honey?
هسه أخذتي اللي تبينه؟
يس يس ثانك يو. شكرا
Yeah.
شكرا.
She said thank you and you got it.
Okay, Sylvia.
Hi. I need translation.
Okay.
我要中文翻译，谢谢。
Yes.
就是我现在就是跟人家分租在公寓里面。
So actually, I'm now share my apartment with someone else.
Oh, Olga,
And how-
sorry. Your
Yes?
sound is really weird. Can you fix it, please? There's
Can
a
you
lot
hear
of
me?
noise.
We
Yes,
can
but
hear-
it's
We can hear
Yeah.
you. There's just some feedback, but like I don't really care. Let's just keep moving on. Like let's just.
Okay.
Oh,
So she
now it
is
just got
now
louder.
sharing
Never mind. Wait, no, now it got louder actually. After I said never mind.
Okay. How about this?
No, it's bad.
How about I come up? Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Selene.
That's a switch.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did they switch? Are you going to translate, Celine? Okay.
I'm renting a place with other people.
然后呢，就是我进来的时候，我也是有放那个就是除障，就是空间的除障音频。
When I came in, I played the house space playing room.
然后呢，就是我知道有一些空间的灵体在这边，然后有一些是可能是室友带回来的灵体。
I know there are some house entities here, and some entities are brought by my housemate.
然后清理完，就是清理了蛮长一段时间，然后连楼上就是都淹水。
I cleaned it for a while, very long while, and even my upstairs has like flood, had flooding water.
然后一直都有一个能量在那边，直到这堂课 今
Mhm.
天我发现了他其实是一个，他是觉得他有拥有权的一个灵体，但实际上他并在法律效益上他没有那个权利。
Mhm. Until today, I always feel this energy. Until this class, I finally got awareness that this entity has this entity thinks he has the ownership of this space, but according to the law, he doesn't have.
然后我想问的就是灵体他们会一直就是他们会占据那个空间吗？就是
I want to ask if the entities will continuously occupy that space
基于他的观点，
according to its point of view.
So she's asking, will the entity continuously occupy the space according to its point of view?
Yeah, because they think they have the ownership, so they keep occupying that space.
Have you tried talking to him? Being like, you're an entity. Why are you still here? Have you tried talking to him? And then what
那
happened?
之前我一直以为他是屋主，就是前屋主。
Before I thought, I did talk to him. But before I thought was the previous owner.
但是他并不是屋主，
But he is not the owner.
他
I
只
don't
是
think
以为他有那个权利。
We're having like an issue today. No one's really asking any real questions. Like, this isn't really a question, babe. You're like telling me a story and then you're like convinced this entity's like, have you tried using the tools? Like, I've literally never met an entity that I couldn't clear ever. So what are you asking me? Are you going to be like, what is it that you need from me that I'm not getting here? Because I don't get why you're not just using the tools.
哦，是使用了，但是一直没有 get 到他，然后
没有
一直
get
到
到他。
这堂课，
没有收到他在讲什么。
嗯
I used the tool, but I didn't get the awareness what he is thinking until this class.
Okay, I'm glad you have the awareness. Now what?
嗯，然后我的没有了。
No. Yeah, no question.
Right. Okay. So no question. If you want to talk to me, please ask questions, guys. Please. If you need validation and tell stories, like you can pay me like $10,000 to do that privately. But this is not the place for that. Okay. I need this to be greater. Okay. For me, for my sanity, for me to want to be here. Okay. No pressure. Sylvina. Sylvina. The pink jacket.
Hola,
Hola.
¿se escucha?
Sí, se escucha bien.
Bueno, buenos días. La pregunta sería, cuando empezabas a hablar el primer día de casas embrujadas, me gustaría conocer más porque tengo entendido que brujerías y magias negras son juicios.
So I would like to for you to talk about houses that are like bewitched, because I understand that black magic and like being bewitched is judgment.
Okay.
So maybe it's a translation thing, because in Spanish we say like bewitched houses, like embrujadas.
Yeah,
which
I get
has
it.
to do-
I get it. I understand what that energy is.
Okay.
Cool. So so give me a little bit more of an idea of what your question is.
Por ejemplo, yo llego a la casa, percibo lo que hay en la casa, ¿verdad? Hay entidades, hago los aclaradores de entidades. ¿Dónde se dice que una casa está embrujada? ¿Cómo entiendo
Okay.
o
Okay.
tomo conciencia de eso?
So I get to a house and I clear it. How do I know if it's like bewitched or like it's black magic or like I don't know, like bewitched? And how do I know it's just entities?
Okay. So for somebody to cast a spell that holds, right, for bewitching to last, somebody has to constantly be putting energy into it. You cannot forever control without adding energy. Like controlling takes a lot of energy. It's not natural, right? It's not in the natural flow of things. So what you're talking about is like somebody casts some sort of a spell, and that most houses actually mostly suffer from neglect and unconsciousness, not witchcraft. So like most of what you're probably perceiving is held in place by entities and unconsciousness and anti-consciousness that just needs to be cleared from the space. So in like basically one of the other things that I would do in a, like I'd start with clearing entities, and then I would move on to destroying and uncreating all the unconsciousness and anti-consciousness that's like impacted the molecular structure of the building. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, povads, boys, and beyonds. Like everybody's projections, expectations, separations, rejections, and judgments that are stuck in the space, destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, povads, boys, and beyonds. I think you're underestimating the effectiveness of the tools. Like the tools of access, like the entity clearings and the verbal processing that we have in Access is far superior to old-fashioned witchcraft. It is the turbocharged possibility that changes all energy. If you come up against something that's stuck, what question do you need to ask yourself to change the energy? What, shebang-a-bangs can you and your body be to win? Because you're
Ahí va el empoderamiento. En mí.
So I will have
Con
to
el
empower
uso de la
myself.
herramienta.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, how many presumptive realities do you have about, what was the word she was using, Elena?
Bewitching.
Bewitching. How many presumptive realities? Yeah, but I like it. Brujadas. Embrujada. How many?
Pero, o sea, entiendo que también podría ser
Wait,
lo mismo de
no.
Espera.
How many presumptive realities do you have about embrujada? And will you destroy and uncreate all those, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, puck, shorts, boys, beds, boys, and beyonds. It's like how much of the big five allows you to be controlled by any, curse, damnation, condemnation, conviction, sentence, witchcraft, judgment, energy, or point of view, and will you destroy and uncreate all that? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, puck, shorts, poveds, boys, and beyonds. You have to go back to basics. You guys are presuming that there's some power out there that's greater than you. There isn't, literally. I mean, I guess the power of the sun and probably the forces of gravity are like biologically greater than your body, but your being is massive and capable of so much. So it's like, how many presumptive points of view do you have about like that you're not as powerful as something or someone else. Why is that true? Will you destroy and uncreate all that, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, puck, shorts, poveds, boys, men. And this is an excellent arena. It's like the engagement with these transformational tools is where you guys are going to have to step up. I mean, that's the whole conversation we started with today with Mo, was about empowerment. And that's basically what you're touching on too, is, you know, it's like, how many needs of reactive realities do you have that make any force outside of you relevant or more powerful than you to you? And will you destroy and uncreate all that, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, poveds, boys, men. If you're reacting, you're giving it control over you. Does anything actually have control over you?
No.
Fuck no. So will you please stop pretending that Embrujada has any control over you?
Sí, por favor.
Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, puck, shorts, poveds, boys, and meons.
Thank you for that. I'm in Peru, and I did a talk to entities class, and like almost one day was about, like, they were insisting so much on this witchcraft and this black magic, and it was like, oh my god.
Well, there is witchcraft and there is magic, but it isn't, but people use it, it's like they're using it just like they're using, like, it's always like an excellent reason and justification to never be the power that you truly be. It's like, who cares if someone's a bully? What energy, space, consciousness, magic, miracle, mystery, power, potency, and possibility must you be? Must you be? Must you be? Must you be? I mean, it was a demon that made me fucking step the fuck up. It was either going to kill me or I was going to get greater. And guess what I chose? I got greater. I am more than any demon or any bitch or any witch. Why don't you be greater than any bitch and any witch and any demon? What energy, space, consciousness, magic, miracle, mystery, possibility, power, potency, and choice can you and your body be to be worse than any demon, any bitch, and any witch for all eternity? And everything that doesn't allow that, we destroy and uncreate it all, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, pug, shorts, poveds, boys, and beyonds. And all of the implants and explants that you have, that you gave yourself, that you created, that always put you in reaction to your power, rather than in accessing of your power with total peace and ease. Will you destroy and uncreate all that, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, puck, shorts, poveds, boys, and meons. Is there anything an infinite being couldn't be, do, or choose? So why would you let anything stop you from being, doing, choosing, having, and creating everything and anything that you can?
Gracias.
Okay. You have to give yourself permission to be great, honey, okay? You got this.
Gracias.
And everywhere that you're validating your mother's points of view with all of this stuff that's stuck for you around this, will you destroy and uncreate all that, please? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine.
Sí, por favor.
Yeah. Pod, puck, shorts, poveds, boys, and meons. Okay.
Es de mi familia, de mi abuela también. Ahora soy consciente.
It comes from my family, my grandmothers too. I know I'm being aware of that.
Cool. So do you have a different choice than they did?
Gracias.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Margie.
Hi, it's Mariah.
Mariah, I knew that. I know. Just the spelling and the pronunciation just doesn't like make sense to me. But I know you.
Yeah, we see each other. So, I have a question. You mentioned when a house is built on a place where the land doesn't want it a house, how do you deal with that?
Well, I want to update that statement actually, because the land doesn't have a huge point of view, which it like the earth is really like allowance personified. However, people build things in really, really stupid places. Like, I think the city of Houston is a great example of building something in a really stupid place. Like, it's a swamp and it's flooded so many times and it will flood again. Like, they completely rebuilt the city of New Orleans even after they saw how vulnerable it is to sea breaches. So it's really like people aren't looking at the earth and determining, okay, where is actually like the most sustainable place to build structures. So I want to kind of update the statement up to more to the earth is an allowance of a lot of the choices that we make that affect it. And it's not going to protect us from our stupid choices. There was so that's that statement. But I looked at this at one point. I was living in a house in Santa Barbara, California, where I grew up, and there was this one spot in the living room that was like always dark. It was like this weird place in the house. Like no one ever wanted to sit in that room. It was just like, and it was always like, and I tried doing a bunch of entity clearings and like portal stuff and all this. And finally I realized that part of the house was just like in a part of the, like it was in a part of the earth that like needed to be different. So it was sort of like the earth couldn't, it just was really, to say this, it was like bad feng shui. Like it really wasn't following the energy of the land to build the house. And obviously that's what's done mostly now. There is no real listening to the earth to determine where to put structures so that everything's the most harmonious. So that's mostly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, because our house, when I come home, I'm instantly exhausted. So creation is difficult
Right.
and stuff. So I used all these tools, and now I sense this house is like falling over, like it's half on the sand and half on the clay or something. And there's a grumpy house, and there's all kind of stuff. The chickens don't lay eggs anymore, and I used all these tools. So I was wondering, what am I missing, and where can I step up more? And
Okay.
you know,
Right. Okay. A couple things here. Slight deviation from the topic of this class, but where I would start is when you're exhausted, when you go home, is it the house itself or is it the fact that you're going home that's exhausting? So all of the presumptive realities, need of reactive reality systems, AI actualizers, and the fifth element that all of you guys have about going home, will you destroy and uncreate all of that, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, pog, shorts, povads, boys, beyonds, and everything that home means to you, will you destroy and uncreate all that? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, pog, shorts, povads, boys, and beyonds. Is home a place that you create your life living in reality, or is home a place where you have not created your life living in reality?
the last one.
Yeah. I used to be tired all the time when I'd go home, and I realized it was because I was going home. So literally, I recommend to everybody, like, never go home. Like, you need to change your point of view about going home. Like, you can go to the structure that you've lived in before, but don't go home. Don't ever go back. And instead of going home, why don't you go to the land of creation? What would you like to create? Now what can be created? If I was truly choosing my life today, what would I choose?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and the other.
Yeah. Go on, honey.
Yeah, the other thing is just this is a grumpy house, and this is a point of view, but it's how it appears for me. And things are disappearing and appearing or really strange places.
Right.
Um,
But
yeah, and I keep clearing and clearing, but yeah.
yeah, but you have, okay, well, do you guys own the house or?
My husband owns it.
But you have like really humanoid children.
Yeah.
Have they claimed and owned their capacities? Or are they still sort of, doing stuff without acknowledging it?
I guess, yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like that might be a lot of the disappearing, reappearing stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I never thought of them to do that. Yeah.
Well, it's like, because it's not just you living there, right? Like all of you guys are having an impact on the space in the house, and like everyone sort of has an influence. So it's like it feels grumpy to you, but it's like, what is everybody else contributing? And actually, have you played the house and space clearing? Do you have that house and space clearing? Have you played it?
Yes, we did.
And
Yeah, and it feels better then, but yeah, it reappears. Everything reappears, and yeah, I can't get to the point of what I can't. Yeah, I don't have the awareness yet. What is? I can't put my finger on it.
well, do you want to still live there?
No, not with all this history and this struggles and
Well, you
stuff.
don't even have to have a reason to not want to live there anymore. It could just be like, okay, I'd like something different in my life now. Now what else is possible?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I was yeah, when I'm somewhere, I ask the place, is this my place? Is this the way, the space to live in, to thrive, to flourish? And yeah, still no answer for that.
well, what if you didn't look for the answer? What if you looked for the possibility? And because there's this great sort of statement that I learned from Simone, which is choice creates awareness. It sounds like you're looking for the awareness before you'll make the choice.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So this is like sort of like a bigger life question about creation.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently. Yeah. And can I ask you another question? You mentioned the poltergeist, so I couldn't find it in the manual.
It's not in the manual, I don't think.
No, so can you talk about that and what is it?
Isn't poltergeist common knowledge? That's why it's not in the manual. I just like presumed it's like common knowledge. I mean, it just is German. Doesn't it just mean noisy spirit in German?
Yeah. So that was that's why I asked, but now you say possibly the children are doing it. So yeah, maybe they're the poltergeist. But yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say they. Like they're not all doing the same thing, and they would all have different capacities. So you sort of have to get clear on like who's inviting what into the house.
Yeah. Yeah, my daughter is really good with demons and stuff.
Have you talked to her about it?
Yeah, but she's afraid, easily afraid.
She's not afraid. She's not afraid.
Okay.
That's not fear. It's like, what have you taught her through example? To be her totally or to avoid parts and pieces of herself?
Yeah, I'm afraid the last one
Yeah.
my unconsciousness. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like they're gonna follow your example, not listen to you.
Yeah.
What can you be? What can you be to change all of this?
Yeah.
What can you be to invite a different possibility?
Yeah, what can I be? More Scorpio, I guess.
Well, definitely more empowered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And then I have another question about the
Okay.
ley lines and water lines underneath houses. When they are disturbing some place, how can you handle with that?
When the ley line is disturbing a place?
Yeah, of the water line, yeah, like this half sand, half clay underneath my house. Yeah, I thought, how can you bring the land in peace so yeah, these
I mean,
energies are not disturbing anymore?
but is that really the issue here? I mean, didn't you already acknowledge that like you don't really want to live there anymore? Isn't that easier to just go somewhere else?
Yeah, doesn't feel like easier for me because all these presumptive realities of having money, where do I live? I need to be with the sea. I guess this is a lot of clearing for me necessary.
Well, it's a lot of choosing necessary.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you'd rather suffer than just make a different choice.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's okay. But I'm not a particularly good person. I'm not particularly good at giving out band-aids. I like to cure the disease.
Yeah, I know. It just wasn't aware of this was a bandage.
Well, it is. You're an avoider. You're a chronic avoider.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what will it take to stop that?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like that's what POVADS is. What point of view am I avoiding and defending?
Yeah.
And that whole thing you just went through it was full of avoidance and defense. And how many of your financial points of view do you use as a defense of like what reality, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Rather than like, okay, so if all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory, if everything was actually possible, what could I choose?
Yeah. And where does I want to live and my body wants to live? And
Well, what if it's not where do I want to live? What if it's just make a different choice and then make a different choice and then make a different choice and then you have 10 seconds to live the rest of your life? What are you going to choose? Like you're trying to come to conclusion, not find another possibility.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Rini!
Hey, okay, I have a question. What would it take for me to get out of the stupidity that I own the lie that I would be hunted? Like we have a stupid myth here. If you're being hunted, each and every house you will go to, the entity is gonna follow you. So what would it take for me to get like out of the presumptive reality of all these myths that I had been growing up with?
Well, I mean, I have like the weirdest suggestion, which is, does it make you feel light or heavy?
I feel like I want to laugh. I guess it's light.
No, it isn't. Shit,
It feels different.
Everything that you're saying is super heavy.
Yeah, because it's not my point of view.
Right. Well, but it's not even that it's a point of view. If it's heavy, it's a
lie.
If it's light, it's
light. It's awareness. Go for it.
If it's light, it's true for you.
It's true. Yes.
So it's like, what if you listen to the energy rather than listening to your mind?
Yeah, thank you. One more thing. I want your point of view, and when I visit like museums and old castle where war had been there, I visited one here in my country, and I got overwhelmed with the energy.
Yeah.
Like so what do you like? I would love to know your experience in this.
Yeah, I mean,
historical places.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, whenever overwhelm is coming up in any area, the go-to question for me is like, okay, so would an infinite being be overwhelmed by anything?
Yeah.
So that's where I start from. And it's like, so it's like, are you overwhelmed or are you reacting, right? How many needs of reactive realities are there?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And destroying and create all that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Right.
acknowledgement. I'm totally different person than the last 48 hours. Totally different.
Ooh, cool. Glad to hear it.
Yes, yes. I even notice it in my body as well, physically.
Interesting.
So thank
Cool.
you so much.
Thank you so much, honey. How's it get better?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Cool. Okay, Miss Pragya.
Hi.
Hi.
I wanted to know, for the first day you told me to clear my house every day. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're just a little quiet. Can you say that one more time?
The first day you advised me to clear my house every day.
The first day of this class,
Yes.
I advised you to clear your house every day. Okay,
So I did that, and then the second day I got the awareness that I need to engage with the land as well.
Okay.
So when I do that, I get different consciousness from both the house and the land. So how do I, communicate with them simultaneously and make it easy for everybody who's living in and the land and the house? Because I get the awareness that I'm being pulled in different directions by the house and the land.
How do I love this. This is like the ultimate fifth element. How do I make it easy for everybody? How do I save everybody? Because I'm the savior of the universe.
Okay.
I mean, doesn't that sound like a little bit fifth element? Does that sound like a little like superior asshole? So we destroy it and create all the fifth element, creating that for you. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, bud, buck, shorts, pobeds, boys, and beyonds.
Okay. So I don't do anything. I just let it be.
Well, look, I mean, you need to make that choice for yourself. But it's like my rule of thumb is like I deal with entity stuff when it makes my life easier, not when it makes other people's lives easier, when it makes my life easier and when I'm getting paid for it. The rest of the time, I'm not really doing anything about it because I don't really mind living with entities. But sometimes if they do become bothersome in some way, then of course I deal with it. But that's because it makes my life easier, not because I'm trying to, be the savior of the universe.
No, so basically I'm doing that because it creates ill health for me as well.
Okay, but you gotta just ask for you, honey, not for how do you save everybody.
Okay.
Because that never works. I mean, it literally it just is like the end loop and puts you right back into presumptive reality.
كيف بنحط هذا الشاحن؟
Yeah. So now what else is your question? Or do you have another question?
Yeah, I do. So sometimes there's a lot of information download during the business hour or apart from the business hours, and I don't get any clarity about it. There's a lot of chatter in the mind. So what can I ask to have more clarity and not have the constant chatter that goes on in my mind?
Maybe occupy a more space?
Okay.
I mean, what you're talking about, I think, is actually like massive in that most of us have spent our entire lives trying to look through other people's universes. So all that chatter is just you constantly looking into and referring to everybody else and everything else. And that's a choice. And what are you Like, why are you listening?
No, it just comes.
No, I'm just, no, I'm just, like, if you're laying in the middle of the road, why are you laying there? I'm just laying here. I'm telling you, get out of the middle of the road, you know? It's like you're putting yourself in the stream of other people's thoughts. Why are you doing that? You can also have ease, joy, and glory. But you're listening for other people's points of view. So, it's like, what do you love about the chatter? What does it prove to you?
Okay, I get it.
Oh. How anticlimactic for me. Okay. All right, Joy T.
Hi. Hi. So, Shannon, on call 1, you mentioned, that you will be talking about the big 5 related to house clearings.
Well, okay, right. So that's actually what I was referring to earlier when I was talking about destroying and uncreating all the unconsciousness and anti-consciousness that's like locked into the molecular structure of the house. It's that. It's just that.
Okay. And
You always. Oh, go on.
sorry, please continue. You were saying
No,
something.
you go ahead. No, please, you continue.
Okay, so there's something also, the word that has been popping up today in the call is the word hesitation. That, sometimes I'm not even like, when you were discussing about doubt, more than doubt, there was this energy of hesitation, that should I not. So can we do something
Were you in the 9 trannies class?
Yes.
Well,
So
that's
I used it.
Gary was talking about. He talks about how everybody hesitates rather than chooses.
Yeah, so I just use that and extrapolate it here.
Good.
Okay. Yeah, so anything else that you want to say? Because there is some energy with the house clearing. There is, there's this energy like the house, when the house communicates, or this thing. You know what? I do not even know how to. I'll skip it. If I get the question, I'll come back again. There's some energy that I'm aware of, but I'm not able to put it in words. Means there is more to the house clearing, like what you were tapping into yesterday, and I am not.
There actually isn't. Like, house clearing is actually pretty easy. It's all this other like empowerment stuff that seems to be more of the choice.
Yeah. Okay. So we continuously keep on choosing to be the energy.
Well, no. Speak for yourself. Not the safety of the we.
No, I have a habit of saying we. I didn't mean we that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I get it. So it's like a continuous choice.
Has anybody ever told you that you're a head tripper?
Yes.
You are so cerebral. I'm like, wow. Like, you are so overcomplicating things. It's like, wow. How about relax?
Yeah.
Things come to you very easily, and I think it's too easy for you. So you like overcomplicate it so you're not bored.
Yeah, can you give me some tool to change that?
How about what energy, space, and consciousness can me and my body be to be okay with being bored?
That, thank you. I'll take that.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Okay, last question, Yolanda.
Hi, Shannon.
Hello.
First of all, thank you for this class. It's not what I expected, and it's greater than what I thought.
Oh, cool.
One of the things that I got through these 3 calls is that there is so much more to communicate. I have been getting like the house and my car have been talking to me, and I wonder what else can I be to include more and more and more, not just like entities, but like what I thought was entities, but everything. Because I get that there is so much more that is talking.
Yeah, well, how much? What more would you have to receive?
Yes.
And no,
Yes.
that's easy,
Yes.
but it's not normal.
Yes. 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 I want more and more and more and more and more.
Then relax.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So I have this really old, like I think it's called like How to Clear Haunted Houses, like ebook. I think that's what it's called. I can't totally remember. It's like a PDF. I think I'm gonna give it to you guys, and I'm just warning you, it's old, but the reason I'm gonna give it to you guys is because if I'm remembering correctly, which I might not be, but we'll just have to take a gamble. It includes like a lot of the content of this topic. And I just want to give it to you guys in case I missed anything that I didn't clarify. Because there might just be some details that we didn't get to in the questions that I didn't remember to go over with you guys that are going to be in there. So after this, we're going to find that PDF and it'll be in your like final exit email for the class as a download. Just in case I missed anything, that'll hopefully cover those details. But I think most of you guys at this point really get that right now it's about getting into practice with this stuff and getting into the tools and seeing how it works. You're going to learn a lot by doing it. And yeah, cool. Joy T, you have another question?
Yeah, I forgot. Sorry. So just a quick one. Like when we go to visit monuments, and I have, while there is ease with even if there is activity, you can be in some places. But like these are these 2 experiences. One was a palace in which the women of the royal family jumped in to burn themselves. It was the ancient practice of so there are these palaces in India and Rajasthan where they have burned themselves in the pit of fire to save themselves. So means when I went to such places, means so you hear the shrieks and you hear all of that. So my question is, how can we have more ease around it? Yeah, we can always have a choice not to go there, but then if we are visiting some places, how do we ask for more ease with it?
By not be having any reactive realities. Remember that like really annoying tool called Interesting Point of View?
Yes.
Why? I wonder, like, why would you even use that when you could make things significant instead?
No. Yeah, means I didn't think of using that tool there. Thank you. I do use
because you are a chronic fucking head case. You overcomplicate exponentially. Imagine if you used all of this creative possibility for creation rather than overcomplication. Like you're just like circling around in the same, like you're not actually creating any new universes.
Thank you.
Oh, hello, Grace Lee.
Hi. Thank you so much for this class. I have a question that when I help someone to clear her house, she always has the trouble with that from kitchen, especially from like a refrigerator, AC, all the electronic. So I use the house cleaning for that. Even though after I clean that, she say kind of calm for a couple days, then come back again. So I'm thinking was I clean for the portals. Then it also only work for a couple days. It's still coming back. So what else I'm missing?
Is your friend inviting all the entities back and opening all the portals again?
I think so. So I
think so too.
I told her that too, but she still keeps saying, no, I don't. I decide them. I don't want to. They
Right.
So then I say, how about you move to another house? So she did, but this issue never come back again. So that's why I'm questioning what I'm missing.
I wouldn't presume you're missing anything, honey.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's like really not your problem.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much. And I wouldn't presume that the issues haven't come back, by the way. She just hasn't told you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But can you see, isn't it super interesting with this topic? Because I think I didn't realize this before, but the house clearing stuff is actually, you guys are pretty good at it now. But now what's coming up is it's starting to bleed into other areas, like kind of like needing to be validated, like trying to save other people or take care of other people. The fifth element, the unfulfilled savior. It's sort of, a lot of the conversations today, actually almost nothing we did today was actually about house, land, and space clearing. It was sort of more like fine tuning your guys' sense of knowing. So that really tells me, like, it sort of informs me a lot about this topic. And I think that Talk to the Entities actually has really succeeded over the last 8 years since I did this class originally, because so many of you are so good at house and space clearing at this point. So, and I don't mean that there isn't more to learn. And yes, there was still stuff that came up in this class that was a great demonstration and example of dealing with a space using these simple tools. But it's almost like too easy or something. So you need to be very conscious of if you're inventing a problem that doesn't exist. And now that you know this, what's possible? And that's what I'd like to really leave with you guys, is now what's possible. Cool. So thanks, guys. Thank you all for being here. I look forward to each and every one of you being more of what you are. So talk to you later. Ciao.